There's Catamaran Marina. We were around this side for most of our time here, but for the last month we've been on the south side, or the west side I guess it is. And there's the town disappearing in the background, probably for the last time. The Commodore's making a video, and we're sailing. We're sailing for the first time since we returned from the Cayman Islands back in, when was it, May or June? Well, here we are back at Dino and Maya's place, and they've extended the dock. I didn't realise they'd extended the dock. They've now got a bit at right angles. They just had the two boats one either side of the dock previously. And we had quite a nice sail down here. There wasn't a lot of wind, so it took quite a while. We were only doing about 4 knots, 5 knots initially, and then it sort of slowed down to 2.5, 3 knots. But anyway, it is what it is. And for the day we've travelled 13 miles exactly, pretty much. We did most of the first bit and then the last bit obviously. But other than that, we sailed under the Genoa only, as I say. Maximum as well. We had a maximum wind speed of 16.7 knots, and we managed maximum speed over the ground was 6.3. Whoa, that's amazing. So here we are. First day sailing in 2026. On the shore, and the dog saw him and ran after him, and he jumped in the water and swam out here, and he's now sitting on the top of Dino's rudder. Wow. Of course the dog still knows he's there. Okay, it's something of a heavy heart relief. Dino and Maya's lovely little home. We've brought 2 guests with us from Germany who are coming for the ride down to Livingston. This is Paul. Hi. Sorry?
Correct, yeah.
Correct, Paul and Teresa.
And Teresa.
Teresa is somewhere up the front. And we're just bringing the anchor up, and we'll be on our way very shortly. Here we are approaching one of the sharp bends in the river. Getting some video. Now here we are, coming towards the end. There's another white heron
Our
there.
first guests on the river.
We appreciate it a lot,
You're
yeah.
making
Very
history,
thankful.
huh?
A lot of good luck for us.
It's nice to go this way.
Yeah.
In Livingston, having our last restaurant meal. So we're going to stay in Tres Puntas because of the problems we're having, and hopefully we'll move on first thing in the morning. But right now we're here. It's a beautiful day in Livingston, and the sun is shining, and the mountains look fantastic. Okay, so we've left Livingston. We had to haul up the anchor by hand. Fortunately it's very shallow there, so we didn't have a lot of anchor down, and we're working on the port engine only because I'm worried about the water leak in the starboard engine. It is what it is, and we're out of here. We're going to go to Tres Puntas, park up for the night, and we'll maybe have a look at this windlass in the morning. Okay, so it is now Thursday morning. pretty early. We had another rough night here in Tres Puntas. We motored across from Livingston to Tres Puntas because we needed to work on the windlass, which wasn't working when we left Tres Puntas. We traced it to a loose wire at the solenoid, but getting at the box where the solenoid is a nightmare, and it took us quite a while, and then a little while to identify the issue, but we got it done. And Sandra, being smaller than me, is able to get in there and get the screws back on the front of the box and get it sealed up again, which was great. Then we watched an episode of Shetland and then went to bed, and I have to say, it started off, there wasn't a breath of wind, and then the rain came and the wind came and the wind went round and the waves came, and it was as rough as hell. To cut a long story short, we checked out of Livingston yesterday with Raoul. Thanks very much for your help, Raoul. I recommend him to anyone coming this way to Guatemala. He is an excellent agent and a very pleasant guy. So we're now actually leaving Guatemala properly. Tres Puntas belongs to Guatemala, and we're going to head east. Quite a long way to go east before we can turn south towards Panama. So it's going to be a long old journey, which is why I wanted to set off yesterday, and the wind was favourable yesterday evening. We could have sailed, but we had to get the anchor sorted out. Welcome to what's occurring now.
Oh well, we finally have Guatemala behind us.
Yes, we checked out yesterday, but because of our issues with the windlass, we decided, Sandra had suggested that it was a great idea that we go to Tres Puntas, anchor and sort it out. And that's exactly what we did.
I repaired it, not him.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I did.
Sandra did a lot of the work, certainly, there's no doubt about it. So that is good news, and we were able to pull the anchor up this morning using the windlass. We were expecting a fairly rough ride going east, but for the moment it's lovely. We've got wind from 150, 155 or so, but it's only about 6 knots. But that's okay, we're getting four and a quarter knots out of that, and that's pretty good, really. So how did we feel about leaving Guatemala? Because we were there a long time, honey. How long were we there? 18 months?
Since the 3rd of July 2024.
Yeah.
So over a year.
18 months, yeah. We were in and out, twice with the boat and twice without the boat, not counting visa runs to Belize and things like that.
But it was a nice place to hang out, nice people, nice
community.
Where we were staying, where we were living. It was beautiful, beautiful gardens, lovely people, beautiful swimming pool, and easy access for produce and inexpensive.
Shopping, yeah.
So that is part of our journey behind us.
Yeah.
So now we're looking ahead, sailing ahead, east. We're going east now.
Onwards.
Onwards and onwards.
Panama, here we come.
Yes, been to Panama before already. It's our second visit to Panama again.
Okay guys, welcome to Honduras. Welcome to the Bay Islands, specifically Roatan. This is French Harbour, and we've just motored in and parked up. We let's see what happened. We had a pretty rough night and day. It calmed down a bit this afternoon, but it was pretty rough through the night and through most of the day. Nonetheless, we've covered 99.5 miles for the day and 177 miles for the month. The maximums, we had 33.5 knots and we managed 9.5 knots, which is pretty amazing. Really, we were heavily reefed the vast majority of the time, and when those figures were taken, we were heavily reefed. We had 3 reefs in the mainsail, and then we had about 4 reefs in the Genoa, later on we took down the mainsail and stuck with 4 or 5 reefs in the Genoa before letting it all out again, letting out the Genoa later when the wind dropped to 15 knots. But it was pretty rough, pretty windy and not very comfortable. Bye for now from Not So Bad. Okay, it's Saturday morning.
Don't straight up, please.
And we've just filled up with diesel. Got 430 litres, which costs about plus 20 something litres of gasoline for the dinghy.
Guys, straight up, straight up.
And it's all pretty painless. So now we head off. Where to? I don't know. Bye for now. Okay, so it's Saturday afternoon and this is Roatan in the background. In fact, all of this is Roatan all the way around here until we get to the gap there and then Guanaca there. Oh no, sorry. Gap there and then Guanaca there in the ahead of us. Looks like you can get through there, but you can't. So we left Roatan, French harbour, after picking up fuel this morning, and we motored for quite a bit with virtually no wind, and also it was a lot of the time on the nose. It has now come round, and it is coming off our port rear quarter, and it's only 6 knots or so, but seas are calm and it's going the right direction, so we're sailing at 3.5 knots, which is very nice indeed, very pleasant. Not getting us anywhere very quickly, but it's very pleasant. I hope this isn't sort of like Thursday, where we had a lovely sail on Thursday, and then on Thursday night it was brutal. So I hope we're not going to have the same thing again. There we are. Oh, the sun is setting. On a beautiful day in the Caribbean, and I hope it stays that way. It's looking a bit dark and ominous in front. Oh, it's still quite a ways away. Just checked on the radar, there's nothing within 25 miles, but it could be moving pretty quickly. And we've still got the whole sails up. I need at least 1 reef in for the evening, so we shall have to adjust that quite shortly before it gets dark. And the good news is that we've got 10 knots of wind, which is allowing us to sail quite nicely in a direction we'd like to go, more or less. We're trying to head northeast. Course over the ground is 063, or east-northeast, trying to get away from the mainland coast, so that when Honduras turns into Nicaragua further along, we're not too close to the coast for the pirates that are known to frequent the area. So we need to get further east, further north and further east. So that's what we're doing for now. Bye for now. So it's Sunday afternoon, and we've got some squalls coming through. They're petering out a bit now, but it's been giving us 25 knots. Fortunately, I was on the ball today for the first time on this trip, and I've got 2 reefs in the Genoa and 3 reefs in the main, so we're good for 35 knots or more. And we're flying along at 7.5 knots or so, 55 off the wing. Not too bad at all. We're heading east. I'd like to be going a little bit further north instead of further south, but that's enough, I think. I might bring it down to 50. That's not going to make it north or east, unfortunately. But anyway, the old bathtub whistles along nicely, nicely reefed, nicely balanced. As this is the null point. Virtually no rudder at all required. So once I've got it trimmed up nicely, it all was going well. Half an hour. Okay, the day progresses. The squall's gone through really, but it hasn't really altered the weather. It's still been 25-30 knots. This is more than enough, thank you very much. We're flying along at 8 knots or so. 7.5, 8 knots. And we're making very good progress as a result. Unfortunately, we're going way too far south. So I don't really like. We're trying to get around Nicaragua without getting too close to the pirates. Let's hope that this weather keeps them in port. Sadly, this track is taking us way close. This wind is taking us way too close to Nicaragua. So we're going to have to go about it and see if we can get some northing. Good morning. Just gone 6 o'clock in the morning. On the 19th, it's a pretty brutal day. A pretty brutal night. Not to put too fine a point on it, but well guys, what a difference a day makes. Yesterday was utterly brutal, in fact. That's whatever it was the last 2 or 3 days. First day after we left, so the Saturday we left Roatan was okay. And then it got worse and worse. And it was pretty ugly. I mean, we had maximum figures. Let's see if we can see what they were. I said in one of the other videos that we had to reset the autopilot a couple of times. There we go, 48.5 knots, and we managed 15 knots. So quite windy, shall we say, quite windy. And that was with 3 reefs in the Genoa. We're down to 2, although that second one slipped a little bit. You can see the line a bit too clearly. And we've got all 3 reefs in the mainsail. So we had a lot of reefs in. But anyway, the combination of the wind dropping, it's now down to 15 to 20, something like that. And us turning away from it a little bit, we're now, where are we? 75 off the wind. And we've got a much more comfortable ride as a result of the combination of both. The waves have died down. After some discussions with my friend Steve, we decided we'd turn south a little bit earlier. We were going to go all the way out here. This is our track up to Jamaica from San Andreas back in 2024. But we're going to cut the corner a little bit, which allowed us to bear away. So, as you see, it's a lovely day on the ocean. Good winds. And I think maybe it's time to let out a bit more sail. Be brave, John, be brave. Okay guys, we're coming to the end of Thursday. It's 10:30 GMT, 4:30 or something, local time. And we've had another lovely day on the water. We're going along at about 6.5, 7 knots. Depending on the wind, which has been up there a little bit, but it's been fairly consistent at 15 to 20 knots. Well, not at any more, and really not at any less. We've had no showers, no squalls. It's all been plain sailing, as they say. We have 40 miles to go to Providencia, or just to the outside of it. And we've got agreement, although Sandra doesn't have a visa, we've got agreement to go there and park up for 24 hours while we rest up and try and get some repairs done. Just past 800 miles for the month, and we're whizzing along at good speed. I mean, we've still got an hour and a half to go, and we've done 139 miles. So we started off, we were just about doing 6 knots by, I don't know, I think midday GMT, just doing 6 knots, and it slowly climbed as the day went on, which is very nice indeed. Well guys, welcome to Providencia, Colombia. Once again, Sandra hasn't got a visa, so that's a little bit of an issue for us, but they said we can stop for 24 hours and not get off the boat. So that's what we'll do, I guess. We've done 845, almost 846 miles for the month, 35 and a half since midnight, 7 hours ago. And for the journey, we had quite some things. Nothing much has changed since I looked at it previously. We've had a maximum wind speed of 48.5 knots, which is quite a lot, not to put too fine a point on it, and 15.2 knots of ground speed, which is quite a lot. And our average speed over the ground has been 5.4 knots, which is not bad considering we spent 3 days beating into wind. Okay, so it's Friday lunchtime, late lunchtime. We were just eating lunch, and we were told about midday that we couldn't stay. We had understood that they were going to give us 10 days, which is what we got in San Andreas in 2024. No, they said we've got to go, and they've been pushing us to leave. So I've just been ignoring them. I've discovered that we've got a leak in the diaphragm of the port sail drive, which is why the damn thing bleeps all the time. And I don't know what we do about that. As far as I understand it, fixing it is a engine removal, so you get at the diaphragm underneath it. So that's a big job, big job. I wish I'd known this in Abel's boatyard. Anyway, it is what it is. So time to start up the motor, haul up the anchor and get out of this place and head to Bocas.